I just actually started in radio 2 years ago. I realized I had an interest in radio around 2011. However, I didn't get my feet wet until 2015. I was a videographer and editor. I worked for a production company. That company closed its doors in Monroe, Louisiana. And so I never got a chance to really exercise the whole, or just even like get a chance to even talk to anybody about radio and stuff, because that was the production company was my way into the media industry around here. But since that company closed around the time that I started thinking about radio, I never got a chance to. So once the company closed, I moved to Shreveport, Louisiana for a couple years, and then came back to Monroe when I got engaged. So when I came back to Monroe, I said that I was going to do something that made me happy and that kept me living. What I mean by that, okay, so like I said, the company closed, the production company closed. I had to move back to Shreveport. And I was living with my mom for, it don't matter how long I was living with my mama, but I was living with my mom for an extended period of time. But I was working all these different jobs, kind of like what I'm doing now. But the jobs that I work now, I like. The jobs I was working back then, I was just doing because I had to do something. But I ended up in banking, and banking was cool. I liked the back end of it. I didn't like the front end. But I said I was settled with banking because I just felt like I was just burned by the media industry. I know, I'm so silly, but I was just so burned by it that they just closed the doors, not even thinking about what was actually happening with the company, but they just closed the doors on me and just whatever. I'm just so done with media. It's just not stable. So I was like, okay, I'll do banking. Okay, I could do anything I put my mind to it. I could make this work for me. And it was cool initially. I mean, like I had, the pay served its purpose. I had benefits. I didn't have benefits with the production company. I had a 401k. Didn't have that with the production company. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll make this work. But I worked there for 2 years. As time passed, I started to die on the inside. And what I mean is, I beat the creative Erin into a closet once I left Monroe. Once I left working in production and videography and editing, I left it, and I didn't want to be that person anymore. I said I need to find something else. So I just beat creative Erin into a closet. Well, I couldn't do it anymore. Just being, and once again, banking's not bad. It could have been just the jobs I had, but I just felt like I needed to move around. I was stuck in a teller window. I was spoiled by my first job out of college, which was the producer at a production company. But, I had more freedom and liberty and stuff there. At the bank, I didn't. Like, what do you mean I can't take my lunch break when I feel like it? Or what do you mean we don't close down the whole month of December? Now, that's just like some little spoiled bratty stuff, but I was spoiled from that place. But, like, seriously, though, like, I'm just stuck in this teller window. There wasn't a way to express myself. I realized I didn't like front line customer service. I don't mind back end because I do some customer service with my day job now. But once again, it's not front in the face on the phone with people. But there was no way to move around, in my opinion. You could be a teller, and then you could be a banker, and then you're the branch assistant, and then you're assistant branch manager, and then the branch manager. That's the only thing I saw. And I tried, and I was like, nope, I don't fit the mold. I don't fit, and this doesn't fit me. And then I realized, okay, well, I do like marketing and things like that. I want to work on the creative side of banking. Still with banking, because in my mind, it's stable. No, it didn't work. I couldn't cross over. And then, like, I was in Shreveport, Louisiana. I wasn't looking to relocate. But the main office, the corporate office, was like in Alabama and stuff. And I would apply for those jobs. I didn't get them. It probably was for the best at the time. I was pissed off and sad and discouraged. But now looking at things, it probably wasn't a line for me. But it just finally came to I just couldn't deny it anymore. I like media. And that's where I needed to be at. But on the flip side, I was like, I also need to make sure that whatever I do, Even if I go to another bank or if I end up teaching or something like that, I still need to find something that was going to keep me alive. I died on the inside at that job. I'm not saying it was just banking. It could have been anything else during that time period in my life. It could have been anything else. But because I was not trying to be myself or do something that I liked, whether it be a job or a hobby, I killed myself on the inside. And I can't really talk to too many people about that because not everybody understands, or everybody, or some people are just kind of like, girl, get over it. This is life. Grow up. Okay, I feel you on the this is life. I feel you on the grow up, but you're not understanding me. I just need to flourish. I just need to bloom. Like, you're just not hearing me. Like, I can't come to my husband and tell him something like that, because he'll be like, Erin Gladney, not even Erin Davenport, Erin Gladney, you tripping? Put a smile on your face. Do what you got to do and go to work. Like, we can daydream and play later. Right now, we got to handle business. My husband is all about that bottom line. And then, like, I could talk to my mom and my friend Whitney. My mom and Whitney are kind of like on the same page about some things. My mom, she'll kind of put some sugar on it. Whitney will put some sarcasm on top of it. But they're kind of like, okay, yeah, understand what you're saying. Do something that you'd like. But at the same time, girl, you got bills. And they're right, because like I want to have a baby in a year-ish. Yeah, in about a year, because if I wait any longer, I'll probably be too old, and my husband's older than me, so we probably need to get cracking on that. But they're like, girl, for real though, I understand you want to do something that you like, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Okay. Now, however, my friend Monique, y'all met her on episode 3. That's the screenwriter in a sugarcane field episode. Now I will put her in the daydreaming box. Let me tell you about my girlfriend in case you didn't hear that episode. This girl is like, yeah, so, and that's how she talks. So I'm going to go to film school in LA and I want to be an actress and I want to write movies and direct. And you're just like, oh, okay. But the girl literally just quit her job at a bank. She was working in Baton Rouge, quit a job, and went to LA for film school and got her master's. And now she's like doing improv and acting and writing a TV pilot. I'm not saying that I'm going to do that, go down that path, but I am going to find my own happy. And that's in her words. She was just like, you just have to find your own happy. And what she meant by that was the fact that she was in school, well, in LA, but she came back to like Cajun Town country, Ardenville, because her husband's there. She's still making it work for herself with acting and things like that. So I was like, okay, I just need to find my own happy and keep me living. And so when I got engaged to my husband, I moved back to Monroe. I said, whatever I did, I understand I have to do what needs to be done to pay bills and take care of my family, but and build our future. But I have to do something that's going to keep me going on the inside. And so when I got here, I sought out, I just contacted anybody I actually hit up my girlfriend's ex-husband who worked in radio, who I met through the production company. And I was like, what's up? I'm in town. What's up with radio? So I got in radio. I said, that's what I would do to keep me living, because I had an interest in that. I just never acted on it. So another reason why I created my podcast is because I love radio. I said earlier that I had an interest in it. Now I do like it. I haven't exactly branched out into the true broadcast yet, but I just like being on the radio. I like putting stuff together. I like being that voice. I still get surprised when people say, oh, I hear you on the radio. And I'm just so surprised because I'm like, you hear me on the radio? Like, duh, Erin, you're on the radio every Saturday from Saturday to, what time I'm on the radio? I'm on the radio Saturday from 10 to 2 o'clock and then Sunday noon to 3 o'clock. And then whenever my boss is on vacation, I absolutely love it because his show is weekdays at night. And it's actually set up to have a legit show. So I get to go on there and I actually get to showcase me, you know what I'm saying? And talk about stuff I want to talk about in the evening time on your way home or at 9 o'clock at night, whatever. But so I like radio. That keeps me going. Now, fortunately, when I came back to Monroe, I did get a job with a company that I like, and I'm doing something in my field that I'm very interested in and that I really like. So it's not like how I was in Shreveport at the bank. I don't hate my job. The good thing now, I mean, I could use some more money, no lie, but I like my job. So I don't have that to deal with, me not liking it and dreading to come to work. I don't have to pray to come to work anymore. Like, I still pray. I still talk to the Lord daily, but it's not like, Lord, please help me get through this day. Please do not let these customers snap on me. Please don't let these customers snap on me. Please don't let it's none of that type of stuff. Like, oh, God, it's the first. Jesus, help me get through the first. None of that type of stuff. I wake up, I'm like, thank you for this job and everything else, you know. So I have a job that I like now, and then I'm also doing radio. I'm getting paid for that too. Praise the Lord. So I'm keeping myself alive. But the other thing is with the podcast, yes, I'm doing radio, but my podcast will take me a step further with radio. And also it will allow me to express myself more freely. So because there's only so much I can do on a regulated radio show. Like some of the things I may talk about during my happy hour outings with my girlfriends, I could talk about on the air, but not in the same nature. I don't have to be worried about, will somebody call and say that they don't like, well, nobody's ever called in and been offended or said something they didn't like, or talked about something that they didn't like that I said. Nothing like that, but I still think about that. Because I say the first thing that comes out of my mouth. Not always on purpose either. Like, it just comes out. But the podcast gives me a chance to express myself more freely. Kind of like a journal. I used to write a lot when I was a kid, and even in high school and everything. I stopped doing that when I got to college, but I recently started journaling again, and it just feels good to just get things off your chest. And like, you don't even realize I was writing some things I'll probably put in today's show. I didn't even realize whatever it was bothering me, or that it was on my mind. And I'm just typing. It wasn't until I got done and I read it and I was like, dang, was all this cooped up on my chest, or was it on my mind? Like, dang, I didn't even realize I was bothered, or I didn't realize I was pissed. Well, maybe this is why I've been walking around pissed or something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I created it to give myself a better way to express myself with this podcast.